I was only 7 when my cruel stepsister burned my face by pushing me into a fireplace. She wanted to punish me for being more beautiful than her.
What happened? What did you see?
I don't know, stepfather!
No one will ever see her again.
Yes, stepfather.
And that day, they sealed my destiny. Nobody ever saw me again afterward. Kate threatened to kill me if I ever spoke the truth to anyone. I stayed silent because I knew she was capable of killing me. I was labeled a cursed monster, a monster who could kill anyone with just a single glare. I was hidden away in a dark room, and no one dared to come near me. I was given a mask to hide my scarred face, and it became my identity, a constant reminder of how cursed I was. I was completely alone. The most tragic part was that my own father didn't want to see my face.
Take her to her room immediately!
He ignored the torture I endured at the hands of his and her daughter. They all wanted me dead. My abuse continued for 10 long years, but now I have decided to escape these monsters, or else they will kill me soon.
Is he here? Is the Duke here?
He is, sir. He just arrived outside by horse.
Why didn't anyone tell... Never mind. Go tell Kate to get ready.
I'm ready! Don't I look ravishing?
Beautiful, as always, my dear. More champagne, now.
She's locked away, right?
Yes, Kate. Alessandra is in her room.
Good. Okay. We can't scare him off.
As the story wends, anyone who saw Alessandra's face would be cursed forever. Alessandra never left her room. Her meals were brought every day at the same time, and honestly, she had lost the will to live.
It's now or never, Alessandra.
Well, where is he? Which one is the Duke?
You'll know. He's dashing.
Me.
And my Charlotte is a very talented violinist, my lord. Surely you'd like to hear her play.
Madam, are you your daughter or one of your cows?
I beg your pardon.
Let's stop dancing around the subject, shall we, Sugar Plum? Your daughter is very... even. I have no interest in marrying her or acquiring you as a mother-in-law. Are we clear?
Enjoying the party, my lord.
Quite the opposite. What is the meaning of this, Baron?
I came because you said you had information on those missing girls from Hampton Township.
Out with it.
Wouldn't you prefer another drink first?
I don't want another drink! Did you call me here only to parade me and my giant fortune around? Hoist your own daughter on me!
No. I mean, yes. No. I will get you the information, I promise.
Get it. Now, then let me make one thing abundantly clear. I do not want a wife. The king may be spreading that vile rumor around, but he's wrong. Dead wrong. I'm gonna go to the garden, and if any overeager mother should follow me there to pitch her daughter, understood?
Yes, my lord.
Good.
And? How is the Duke?
Not well. It doesn't seem that he is at all interested in any woman or any marriage. It is as if he hates love. What?
Well, then convince him! Are you seriously this useless? Might I remind you that we need him to marry Kate, or we are royally...
He is out in the gardens. Maybe the fresh air will help him come around.
What did I say?
Apologies, my lord. I was just getting some air.
It's you. The Baron's cursed daughter. I thought you were dead, honestly.
I wish I was. Honestly.
Are you really getting air, or are you seizing your opportunity to run?
Could you blame me for the latter?
No. Your father's insufferable. This whole town is. And to top it off, the king has decided to spread this nasty rumor I'm looking for a bride. And what no woman seems to understand is that marrying me means marrying into a loveless existence.
That must be frustrating. Have no control over your own life?
You have no idea.
I believe I do.
It was then that Alessandra saw her opportunity for a new life.
Is it true what they say, that you're not looking for a wife or marriage?
Oh God, not you two.
No, wait. Let me finish. You're not interested in romance. I would never expect anyone to love me. This could be mutually beneficial. A contract marriage, of sorts. Marry me, and get the king off your back.
I could find any to play the role of my wife.
Then you would have done so. And if the king is toying with you, marrying me would drive him crazy. Why would you marry the master? Right?
They're wrong what they say about you. You know, you're not timid at all. You're cunning. A survivor. What's in it for you?
I get to leave this place. Where is the Duke? Speak!
I saw him head to the gardens, miss.
This is a pathetic attempt by your father to foist yet another daughter on me. You know, I think I really will.
My father has no idea I'm here. I haven't left my room in 10 years. Don't you see, my lord? I need to leave this place. To escape. If I don't, I will lose any shred of sanity I have left. I am dying in these walls, day by day, piece by piece. I thought you, of all people, would understand. Please. After all, anyone who looks in my face is cursed. Don't you know?
If it's for me, I'm already cursed.
But I'm a monster.
So am I.
And in that moment, the two misfits of the town found in the other their own salvation.
We're gonna do this, I need to see your face.
No, it's King. I have to go.
Wait, why? Why are you so scared of her? Wait! Come to my estate tomorrow if you're serious about this.
Duke! Duke, is that you?
Kate, is it?
I see my reputation has preceded me. You know, I was looking to get some love time with you, Edgar.
And why in God's name would you want that?
We get to know each other, of course, silly.
I'm afraid I was led here under false pretense. Your father has information that I want, that's why I came, nothing more.
But the king said you wanted to marry.
Yes. But you can save your breath, you blonde demon. I've already had a better offer.
Well, Alessandra, sounds like we have another lesson in humility coming. And this time I'll make it unforgettable.
Kate, how did it go with the Duke?
Oh, just swimmingly. Can't you tell? I don't understand. Every man in this township would love to be with me. Why not him?
What the devil is going on in here?
Alessandra couldn't sleep. It seemed the Duke was considering her offer. Why else would he ask her to come to his estate?
We have to be cautious moving forward. The Duke is not a man to be trifled with. He can be very dangerous.
Then why do you want me to marry him?
Because we're broke, poor. We need the Duke's money or we will be thrown out onto the street.
This is true. We have to convince him to marry into our family. We have to convince him to marry you.
Well, he told me he already has a better offer.
What? Who could have convinced him to marry them?
I have a good guess.
Alessandra was panicked. She had stolen her sister's opportunity with the Duke. And, more terrifyingly, what would Kate do to Alessandra now?
Hello, dear sister. Kate, what are you... Just checking on you, lamb. Such a shame you had to miss the party. I thought I'd bring you some cake.
Thank you.
Of course. The party was fabulous. Although, let's be honest, we'd have no more guests if they saw you, right? Sister, I feel just wretched over what I did all those years ago.
Oh, let's not.
Shh. Let me finish. But Alessandra, didn't I make myself clear that I don't like to be outshined?
What is this with the Duke, huh? I talked about you!
The Duke denied my advances. He said he had a better offer.
I need my offer didn't go for me! Please, sister, I swear to God, I wouldn't lie to you!
Would Kate believe her? Alessandra's heart was pounding out of her chest.
I'll spare your hand this one time. But sister, let me make myself clear. I will marry the Duke, even if it kills me. Or better yet, kills you. And to clean up this mess, you're getting blood everywhere.
Alessandra needed a way to get past her father and sister.
I need to get out of here.
And only one person could help her.
Ellie, is that you?
Mario,
I'm sorry I haven't visited you. Your father forbids it.
I don't have much time. I need your help, please.
What do you need?
I need you to convince the coachman to take me to Duke Edgar Collins' mansion in secret.
The Duke? Sorry, but why on earth would you want to go see Duke Edgar?
Because I'm going to die here. Either of insanity or at my sister's hand if I don't leave.
I don't know, Ellie. I know this place is terrible, for you and for me, but I'm wary of that man. I've heard the rumors.
What rumors?
Some say he sees himself as a vigilante, hunting criminals by night, killing them in ruthless, merciless ways.
So he attacks us who are already evil?
So they say.
I like him already.
Ellie, I wouldn't want you to pin your future on someone with such a rumored past.
And what rumors have you heard about me, Mario?
That you're a demon, of course. A ghoul who curses all who lays eyes upon.
So you do know better than to listen to idle gossip.
Fine. I'll arrange it. We'll make sure your father does not know about this little visit. But please, take this, and be careful. I couldn't live with myself if anything happened to you.
Alessandra wondered, would she really have to use this? And on whom?
Good morning, young master.
Alfred.
Your breakfast, sir. Are we expecting guests, sir? Shall I prepare the lounge?
I'm not sure yet. She's a tricky woman, this one.
You're expecting a woman this early in the morning?
Yes, is that so strange?
Yes. You only ever entertain women long after the sun has set, and then send them away before it rises the following morning.
Yes, well, this one is different. There'll be no involved whatsoever.
Ah. Interesting.
Alfred, this woman, she intrigues me. I never wanted a wife, but if the Lady Alessandra can help keep the king out of my affairs...
Alessandra? As in Alessandra Barrett?
What's your point?
Isn't she cursed?
Perhaps finding someone who could keep up with me.
Welcome, Miss Barrett. We've been expecting you.
This is impressive.
Yes, it is.
You said Edgar, the Duke, is expecting me?
Yes. He's just polishing his sword. Come this way.
Something to drink?
It's a bit early.
I find that the brandy helps quiet the demons. Their relentless nagging is loudest in the morning. Does your father know you're here?
No. I told you. I'm not working for my father.
You'd think that a father would be proud to have such a self-reliant daughter. Or does he hate you or something?
Mario! Take her to her room immediately!
I think he's ashamed of me.
And that's the problem with high society. Vipers. All of them. Who did that to your face?
It was a long time ago.
You really never take that mask off. I really wanted you to. I find that I can be very persuasive.
I find that I can be very steadfast.
So, regarding your proposal, I do have a few questions. Namely, why would somebody who's spent their entire life in the shadows suddenly want to become the center of attention as the Duke's wife?
I didn't want to be in the shadows. I needed to be. To survive. And Duke Collins, I never planned on asking you to marry me. But you fit all the criteria.
All the criteria, huh? Tell me, Alessandra, what stories have you heard about me?
As you can imagine, Duke Collins.
Edgar, please.
Edgar. A woman in my position gives little credence to rumors.
Yes, but you must be wondering, is he as terrible as they say? They say I've killed 24 men. That I keep women in my basement for my amusement. That I'm the son of Satan himself.
You just like to frighten me.
And are you frightened, Alessandra? I do not fear you. What happened to your hand?
Why do you care?
I don't take well to those who mess with my people. So let's get some things straight. The contract marriage. I help you escape, you help keep the king off my ass about finding a bride. Let's get one thing very clear. You cannot fall in love with me.
I think I'll manage. You're not my type anyways.
Good. And I think it's best if we keep this agreement as a secret between us. Terms now until forever.
Forever? Surely you jest.
Do we have a deal?
Alessandra couldn't believe she was actually considering this.
We do.
Good. And I guess we should discuss the matter of children. Suppose I do need to create an heir with name and all.
With me?
You're being dense and it's annoying. Yes, of course with you.
But any child of mine would deal with a lifetime of rumors about me. Wouldn't that pain you?
Well, I find that people struggle to gossip once I've ripped out their tongue.
You would cut someone's tongue for talking about me?
Take your pick. I suppose you're all right with all that creating an heir entails.
Yes.
Good. I'll go first then.
Her opportunity to escape her terrible family was here. There was no going back now. But at what cost? What if the Duke was even worse than her evil stepsister?
Oh, come on, Alessandra. Where's that brave girl who wanted to escape her evil family? Don't you want to know if the rumors about me are true? Sign. And you'll find out.
Forever? Alessandra muttered in disbelief. Forever was a long time. Was she wrong to believe he would only want to do this for maybe a year or two? Wasn't that what the people in the books she read did? Yes, forever. Do you plan to break your wedding vows? Till death do us part. Edgar grinned, enjoying the look of horror on her face. He only planned to get married once, which was why it had to be with someone he could tolerate. At some point, you will need an heir, she said. Did he expect that to happen with her? Of course. My wife shall be the mother of my child, but no need to worry. I am not in the mood to have a child running around my home anytime soon. Honestly, Edgar had a dislike for children. You wouldn't mind me having your child? Alessandra didn't know how she fell into this hole of confusion, but she would really enjoy Edgar's help to pull her out of it quickly. You're starting to annoy me by not understanding what is simple, Alessandra. But I guess it would be a shock for you. Yes, I wouldn't mind you having my child one day, Alessandra. If I did mind, we wouldn't be here discussing marriage. If this is too much for you, we can still ignore all of this. I'm worried what a child of mine would have to go through in this world. Others might attach the rumors about me to the child. Alessandra pictured it in her mind. She wouldn't want anyone to experience being outcasted. Alessandra, you are not aware of the weight my last name carries. Once you become my wife, those rumors would fade away, and no one shall dare talk about you or a child in the future. Edgar had his ways of making people shut up. If you rip out their tongue, you would find it hard to understand a word they say. Eventually, they would shut up. Alessandra did not need to ask Edgar how he could guarantee that would happen. There was obviously some truth to how dangerous he was. She had a feeling he was being considerably nice to her right now with the way he spoke. We can carry on with the contract, Duke Edgar. She started to sign her name. Giving him an heir would not be a problem if she could shield the child. Edgar, he reminded her once again. Sorry, Edgar. I predict it shall take you a while to start calling me by only my first name. I will come to visit your father tomorrow to ask for your hand in marriage. It is to make sure you do not have any more accidents where you hurt your hand. Edgar slid the paper from her side while she hid her hands. Would you like to live with me until it is time for the wedding? It is not uncommon, though some people might think you're pregnant. Absolutely not, Alessandra exclaimed, as she did not want another rumor. The list of rumors about me is good enough. I do not need to add on pregnancy so early. Edgar scoffed, feeling a sense of déjà vu with her response. Anyone who would believe I have gotten you pregnant before marriage would be an idiot anyway. Then again, there are rumors that I sneak women into this house at night. Do you? Alessandra didn't find that hard to believe, but she wanted the answer from his mouth since she rarely believed rumors unless the person confirmed it. Edgar pretended to be offended, to mess with Alessandra. His eyes went wide. He gasped and placed his hand on his chest. I would never. Alessandra felt bad for even questioning it. I'm sorry. But there was some truth to the rumor. I didn't sneak the women in here. They jumped over the gates and my guards caught them. One person who heard about it passed it on to another until the story changed completely. Rumors are such messy things when they are about me. There are some moments when they help me catch criminals.
Right. He has been assigned to investigate cases under the king's orders,
Alessandra said to herself. I shall hide the contract somewhere safe for no one to find. Now that the contract is over, have you eaten? Alfred can bring you breakfast, or have mine. I am not ready to eat with the work I have to do. I would have been done already if not for your father and his lie. The Baron's party cut into his work time. The information he got from the Baron was not useful in any shape or form. It was something Edgar already knew about the missing girls.
I'm sorry. My father used your name to gain a few more guests, and Kate fancies you, which was why my father felt pressured to have you there.
Alessandra apologized, even though she had nothing to do with it. She cared for her father and did not wish to see his reputation falter. He loved it more than anything. After her mother ran away, it was the only thing he seemed to love, until he met Katrina. Your father, stepmother, and sister shall not gain entry to my home after we are married. I am sure by now you know the type of people they are, and if you found them to be tolerable, you wouldn't be looking to marry a stranger to get away from them, said Edgar.
I don't mind.
Alessandra didn't want to see her family too much starting now.
I must leave now, Duke Edgar. I told my father I wanted a view of the town for me to paint, and if I do not return on time, he will be angry. I look forward to being married to you.
I hope my life becomes a bit more interesting with you around, Alessandra. Come, I will walk you out. Edgar stood up from his seat. He could hardly wait for the king to find out about the woman he was marrying. It would teach the man to stop meddling in his friend's affairs.
Thank you.
Alessandra accepted the Duke's hand when he came to help her.
You have a beautiful home. I am jealous of your paintings.
Do you enjoy painting? It was the second time he heard her mention painting. He did not necessarily care about the art. He only brought it because of his mother badgering him to add more to his home.
I do. It is relaxing and a fun way to pass time. It takes a bit of practice, but nothing will compare to the feeling when you finally nail the look you've been going for.
Alessandra was so focused on talking about paintings, she did not realize she was still holding onto Edgar's hand. Edgar did not mind it, as he liked listening to her speak so fondly about her hobby. Then I shall buy a couple of your works.
What? Why?
Alessandra choked up. She had never let anyone see her work for them to be able to buy any of them.
I am not a professional.
I should at least buy it from someone I know. I have no idea who the people are that made the art in my home. Pick out the best ones you have to be placed around my home. I shall let Alfred take down some of the ones I have placed up.
Are you crazy?
Alessandra asked without thinking. Why on earth would he waste money on her paintings and take down the beautiful ones he had up? No. My doctor said I am not crazy as long as I don't... Never mind. This shall be your home too. So you're free to decorate it as you see fit as the lady of this house. You should add pieces of what you like to make yourself at home, and I shall pay for it.
That makes sense,
Alessandra muttered, now understanding what he was doing. Shall I prepare an engagement ring for you, or is there no need for it? Alfred appeared beside Edgar at the front door. He stood with his hands behind his back, watching Alessandra leave in her carriage. Prepare the ring for tomorrow morning. We will be visiting the Barretts. Edgar left the doorway once the carriage was almost out of his property. Make sure no one speaks of seeing her here before then. Of course. Alfred closed the door behind Edgar. Should I also be the one to prepare the gifts for her family? Cigars from my collection for the father, some kind of jewelry for the mother and daughter, and paint for Alessandra. Lots of it. I need some of the paintings taken down, as I will be buying new ones from Alessandra to be placed. Also, take away some of the things in my chamber for her to have. You'll be sharing a room, Alfred exclaimed. Edgar paused to look behind him at Alfred. Why is that so shocking? She will be my wife, Alfred. Aren't you the one who taught me to follow tradition? Young master, nowhere in the tradition I have mentioned includes this type of situation. Did the young lady agree to sleep with you? I hope you mentioned that to her first. No, I mentioned that last, along with her being the mother of my children. Edgar continued, walking back to the study. Children? Alfred gripped his chest, unable to handle the information. You're being dramatic again, Alfred. Edgar refused to turn around to check on Alfred. I have work to do. If anyone else shows up, turn them away. Don't ask me any more questions, or you will eventually add too much stress to your heart and die. Do you wish to die, Alfred? No, young master. I wish to see these children you speak of. I will get to it right away. Good. We're about to have some fun, Alfred, said Edgar. Meanwhile, Alessandra nervously sat in her carriage on the way back home. The situation dawned on her once she was away from Edgar and able to breathe normally. She pinched herself to be sure she wasn't still dreaming and had not woken up for the day. I'm going to marry Duke Collins, she said in disbelief. Who would have thought her asking him in the spur of the moment would lead to this? Who would have thought he would go along with it? I'm almost out of there. Today would be her last day dealing with her family. After Edgar arrived tomorrow, neither Kate nor Katrina would be able to interfere with her. They could get upset with her for being the one engaged to Edgar and not Kate, but they couldn't lay a finger on her. She would be Edgar's woman, and he was a man to never offend. I wonder what Father would say. Will he finally show more interest in me? Alessandra leaned her head against the wall as she thought about tomorrow. He might try to convince the Duke to marry Kate instead. Oh, tomorrow will be a chaotic day. She closed her eyes, enjoying the peace while it lasted. As the carriage returned home, Alessandra wasn't surprised to see a figure standing with his arms folded by the door. Her father knew his wife wouldn't be pleased about her leaving home, and Alessandra had made sure to leave before Katrina could stop her. First Kate, and now it was Katrina's turn. When the carriage stopped, Alessandra opened her door herself, since everyone was afraid to get too close to her. She kept her head down to avoid looking at Katrina as she walked to the entrance of their home. Good morning, Katrina, she greeted the woman as she neared her. Katrina, on the other hand, did not return the greeting. Your father must have lost his mind to allow you to leave home. Do the two of you wish to sully this house even more? What would others say if they were to learn that you were riding around amongst them? I did not leave the carriage, Mother. Do not call me that. How many times must I tell you that I am not your mother? Your own mother ran away and left you here to be raised by your father. I am not going to do her job for her. Neither you nor your father seems to realize what I have to put up with a person like you. I made it clear you should not be seen. Katrina was furious to learn Desmond allowed Alessandra to leave without consulting her. Do you not understand the trouble you caused for us, Alessandra? Our reputation almost hit rock bottom because of that incident. Never ask to leave this place again, or I will see to it that you may never leave your bedroom. Just the sight of you infuriates me. Why on earth couldn't you have followed your mother? I'm sorry. Alessandra apologized with her head still low. Get back to your room. Your presence drains my mood, and I am tired of seeing those masks. I cannot wait for the day you shall no longer be here. I hope you enjoyed your day out, since it will never happen again. Ridiculous, Katrina muttered, turning her back on Alessandra to leave. Alessandra touched her mask, making sure it was still in place. She speaks as if they weren't a part of why I wear it. One of the things Alessandra hated was how she had to act timid around her family. She found it best to pretend to be that way and take their scolding, but having to be that way was irritating. The second thing she hated was Katrina's need to constantly bring up her mother who ran away from her marriage. Katrina was speaking based on what her husband wanted her to hear, and not the entire truth. It'll all be over soon, Alessandra said to cheer herself up. It was unfortunate the day might go by slowly now that she really wanted tomorrow to come quickly. A lot could happen before it was time for Edgar to visit her home. Stay out of sight. It was the best thing to do in order to avoid more accidents happening. Edgar might have already picked up someone who had hurt her hand, but Alessandra did not want to involve him in her family affairs and drama. She was well aware he could punish Kate for her, but she did not wish for that to happen. Alessandra wanted to give her family the life they dreamed about, a life without her in it. Involving Edgar in it would only cause too many problems. It was best to cut ties with her family peacefully, as she did not hold a grudge for the way she'd been treated. Alessandra hurried back to her room to avoid running back into Katrina or meeting Kate again. However, upon reaching her door, she was puzzled to find it slightly ajar, as if someone had been inside of it after she left. It could have been Katrina confirming that her father allowed her to leave. That was what Alessandra hoped, but her anxiety increased seeing Kate standing by her window. Kate, she called out to her sister. Oh, you're back already? In time to witness the fun. My mother said we were not allowed to have pets. Imagine my surprise when I saw this little creature in here. Kate held up the kitten Alessandra had been feeding. She was holding it outside the window, prepared to drop it right before Alessandra arrived. Kate, I will take care of it. Please do not harm an innocent creature. Alessandra took careful steps forward, wishing to take the kitten before Kate could do the unthinkable. You irritate me, Alessandra. Father was mad at me for what happened this morning and for not being able to talk to the Duke last night. It's all your fault, Alessandra. Remember that. Kate threw the kitten out the window against a nearby tree and peered down to see it fall. Initially, Kate had only meant to drop the kitten outside the window for it to wander away. But seeing Alessandra back from her trip made her furious. If she could, she would have taken it somewhere higher to drop it. I never told you to... Hey! Kate yelled when Alessandra ran out of the room instead of listening to her. Please be all right. Alessandra chanted in her head over and over as she ran outside to check on the kitten. Hold on till tomorrow, little one. He will come for us.
Katrina, hasn't this punishment gone on long enough? She has not been given any food since yesterday morning. The point was to make her comfortable, to never want to venture out of her bedroom, not make her want to retaliate, said Desmond. He was sitting at the head of the table the next day after Alessandra was punished by his wife. He was certain the little freedom he gave Alessandra to ride around yesterday would have been enough to satisfy her curiosity about seeing the outside world. Now, Katrina made his plan backfire. She was disrespectful. Therefore, she needed to be punished. You know how much I hate pets. Kate has been begging to get a small dog like the rest of her friends, but I have repeatedly told her no. It wouldn't be fair for Alessandra to have one and not Kate, Katrina replied. I agree with Mother. If Alessandra gets to keep the cat, then
I shall have a dog, Father. Pretty please? Kate started to beg. All her friends had the same small, fluffy dog, and she was the only one without. It was embarrassing. She should have whatever they have. Not a chance, Kate. I am going to get rid of that animal. Alessandra will have food when she is ready to apologize for her behavior. Katrina looked at her husband. She was putting her foot down this time and doing as she pleased with Alessandra. I don't disagree with you getting rid of the animal, but I wanted Alessandra to be satisfied enough with being outside to stay in her room. Had you sent the food to her room the night of the party, she wouldn't have met with the Duke. Desmond sighed, rubbing his temple. He heard nothing from Duke Edgar regarding Alessandra, which was a good thing. However, he was nervous about the information he gave to the Duke. Was it worth something? It's not fair. Alessandra got to speak with the Duke. Well, I hardly spoke to him. I got dressed up for him and it went to waste. He's so hard to please, Kate grumbled, stuffing her face with a biscuit. Kate, do not eat so quickly as you'll choke. And lay off the flour. We do not need you gaining too much weight. It is up to you to find a good husband to restore our finances. There will still be a chance for you to capture the Duke's attention. Who else can rival you? Katrina thought highly of her daughter's looks and was confident enough that there would be no one else for the Duke to marry but Kate. It would have to be the princess wishing to marry the Duke, but even then, Katrina would still view Kate as the better choice. The ball is in a few days, and the Duke will be in attendance like every year. Your father has already received his invitation, and I have a dress picked out for you. You have to practice your etiquette again and make sure you leave an impression on him. If not, you'll have to marry one of the other offers you got, said Katrina. None of them are better than the Duke. I would be a duchess when I marry the Duke. Can you imagine it, Mother? Kate smiled, picturing herself in that position. She knew she was destined for great things that would happen after becoming a duchess. Katrina smiled along with Kate, enjoying how determined her daughter was. She knew Kate would never fail her. If Kate married the Duke, her status would elevate past being the wife of a baron. She would be the mother of a duchess. Prepare well, Kate. I will. You better, Desmond warned his youngest. They were putting a lot of money into dressing Kate for the Duke. Katrina assured them they would get the money back when the Duke offered them gifts for their daughter. Baron? A maid approached the table with her head low. What on earth are you doing? It is a rule that our breakfast is not meant to be interrupted by anyone. Where is the butler? Katrina grilled the maid. She set rules for there to be order in the home, and lately, every rule was being broken. The butler went out to run an errand for me, Katrina. It must be something important for the maid to come here. What is it? Desmond placed his cup down and waited. Duke Edgar Collins is here to pay a visit to you, Baron. He is here with his butler. The Duke? Kate exclaimed, almost choking on a piece of bread. Mother? She looked to her right. I was not aware that he would be visiting. Desmond, did you know of this? Katrina looked at her husband. There was so much she would have done if she knew the Duke would be paying their house a visit. Desmond was just as surprised as everyone else to hear the Duke was here. Edgar did not leave the party looking too happy after he was given the information about the missing girls. Was Edgar here to kill him? Or maybe there was a chance he was here for Kate. What are you doing standing here? Send the Duke in right away, Desmond ordered the maid. It wasn't right to keep the Duke waiting for so long. Should I change quickly? Kate stood, unsure of what to do. She knew she looked good, but was this good enough to impress Edgar? Sit down. If you run away now and return, it'll be too obvious to Edgar you went and changed. You must not let him know you changed clothes just to impress him. Remember to do as you were taught, Katrina said as she fixed her appearance by looking at her reflection in a glass. Kate did the same to fix anything wrong with what she was wearing. She pushed the biscuits away, regretting how much she had been eating. "He's here," she whispered as Edgar entered the room, followed by the man everyone knew to be his butler. There were boxes in the butler's hands, which made Kate wonder if the Duke had brought them gifts, and if so, what was the reason? "Good morning, Duke Edgar. To what do I owe this lovely visit?" Desmond stood up to greet Edgar. He extended out his hand to shake with Edgar, but it was left hanging in the air. "Young master," Alfred took a step closer to Edgar. "You are here to marry his daughter. Be nice," he whispered softly. On the inside, Edgar rolled his eyes, but on the outside, he gave the Baron a smile and shook his hand. "I have something to discuss with you, Baron. Should we go to my study to talk?" Desmond pointed in that direction. He was curious about what the butler told Edgar to make him shake his hand. "No, it is something to discuss with your entire family." Looking at the table, Edgar didn't miss how the table was only set for 3 people, which meant Alessandra did not eat with her family. "Entire family?" Desmond looked back at Katrina. "I see. Please have a seat. Would you like something to eat?" "No." Edgar held up his hand to stop the Baron. "I have already eaten." Edgar sat down in an empty seat, purposely avoiding the looks Kate was giving him. "Baron, you must be aware of the rumors that I am looking for a wife. After some time to think, I have made up my mind to marry your daughter, Alessandra." Edgar wanted to get this out of the way quickly to see what his future wife was doing. Alessandra! The Baron was certain he heard Edgar wrong, but thanks to the gasp from Katrina and the look of horror on Kate's face, he knew he heard it clearly. "Duke Edgar, why would you want to marry Alessandra? There are many rumors around her that will affect your reputation." "I am not the type to be concerned about my reputation. There are plenty of rumors surrounding me, so I hope you don't think of how they shall affect your reputation through me visiting," Edgar replied, flipping the Baron's words. Edgar enjoyed the nervousness in the air as the Baron quickly tried to clear up what he meant. "You and my daughter are 2 different kinds of people. You are special, and your daughter is not." Edgar glared at the trifling man. He had a low opinion of the Baron, and now that opinion was down below in the underworld. Desmond's palms started to sweat. He did not want to be viewed as a bad father. That is not what I meant. Out of my 2 daughters, Kate would be the better choice. She is the talk of the town and has a long list of suitors, but she has been saving herself for a man like you. Then she shall be fine with my rejection, and I am not so certain about saving herself. The red light district is quite busy these days," said Edgar as he recalled what was mentioned at the Baron's party. "What?" Katrina looked at her daughter in confusion. "Kate would never visit such a place, Duke Edgar. I agree with my husband that Alessandra is not suited for a man like you. Kate has been raised to be the perfect wife." "The more all of you talk, I get the understanding that you have completely cast Alessandra aside. Is she not meant to get married? Should she stay with her father her entire life? I will say this only once. I am not interested in Kate."
Edgar shot down the advances for the last time. I am here for Alessandra. Where is she? Duke Edgar, it is rude of you to keep asking about Alessandra when we have told you she is not a good choice for your wife. If this is some kind of a joke between you and my husband, it is not funny. Surely you have heard the rumors, Katrina said in a calm tone, but on the inside, she was fuming. Katrina didn't understand why Edgar would come asking for Alessandra. He could not have fallen for Alessandra after the small conversation they had. That was impossible. Who would love someone like Alessandra? I am well aware of all the rumors about your entire family. Is there some reason you are not bringing out Alessandra for her to speak with me? She will need to accept the proposal. Is something wrong with her? Edgar looked to Desmond for the answer. The three of them looked nervous each time he mentioned wanting to see Alessandra. Surely she wasn't dead before they officially got engaged. The thing is, Desmond trailed off, uncertain of how to go about the situation. Alessandra needs to be sheltered from the outside world. People who have run into her are never kind, which is why she stays here with me. She's comfortable here with her mask. Kate, on the other hand, take me to her. Baron, outside of me doing this because I want to marry her, there is something truly odd about the relationship you have with your daughter. If there is a single strand of hair out of place, I will see to it that you are punished. Are we clear? Yes, Duke Edgar. I will bring Alessandra to you. Desmond stood up, but Edgar shook his head. Take me to her. Edgar was smart enough to know if he allowed someone to bring Alessandra, they would just threaten her. He wanted to see firsthand what life was like for Alessandra. Outside of the rumors, what pushed her to suggest a contract marriage? Katrina clenched her fists under the table. There was nothing they could do when the Duke was so determined to see Alessandra. If they were to claim Alessandra was sick now, it would only make things suspicious, as if they had done something to her. My poor daughter. Katrina could only think of Kate. Her daughter sat silently, trying to figure out why she wasn't the one chosen. Katrina didn't want her to marry a man crazy enough to propose to Alessandra, but this was the Duke. How could they allow Alessandra to marry a man with such status while Kate was ignored? She had a feeling Alessandra left off way more than what she spoke about with the Duke. Alessandra is not suited for you, Kate spoke up. The shock was over, and now she was ready to fight for what belonged to her. Edgar smiled, enjoying how much they were trying to push him away from picking Alessandra. I know better than anyone else who is suited for me, unless you are questioning my ability to think. Is there a reason I cannot see your daughter, Baron? Do I need to? No, I will take you to her right away. But Alessandra will give you the same answer, Duke. She doesn't like to be seen by others. I don't know what was discussed when you met her, but you might have gotten the wrong impression. Desmond was going to do whatever he could to switch the Duke's attention from Alessandra to Kate. Desmond always thought of the Duke to be strange, but not strange enough to want to marry Alessandra. He was sure once Edgar got a good look at Alessandra now, he would see Kate was a better choice. Baron, you talk too much, Edgar said as he stood up. The more the man talked, the more he was tempted to strangle him. But as Alfred said, he was here to ask for his daughter's hand in marriage, so he had to be nice. What? Desmond was taken aback by Edgar's words. He was merely trying to help him save his reputation. He was not convinced the Duke did not care about his reputation. Everyone did. I'm sorry. This way. He shut his mouth afterward. The Duke would change his mind anyway. Alfred, stay here, Edgar told his butler, Alfred would be his eyes and ears for whatever the two women said or did. Edgar quietly followed the Baron to Alessandra's bedroom. He wondered if she would be happy to see he had arrived early instead of delaying his arrival. Would she be happy to see the expressions on her family's faces?
This is it. Alessandra!
Desmond knocked on the door. He was hoping she would be sound asleep and would not be able to hear him. But to his surprise, she opened the door after the second knock.
We have a guest.
The moment Alessandra opened the door, Edgar's eyes went to one thing. It wasn't the blue mask she decided to wear today, but how red her eyes were.
What happened?
He asked.
You see, I asked her, Baron.
What happened, Alessandra? Edgar reached out his hand to rub below her right eye, which wasn't covered by the mask.
Tell me quickly.
Alessandra glanced at her father for a moment and saw how nervous he was. The Duke must have mentioned marriage already. My kitten was hurt yesterday and has passed away. I am on punishment, therefore I could not leave to bury it. Why are you here, Duke Edgar? She asked, feigning ignorance.
I have come to ask for your hand in marriage, but your family seems to think it is a bad decision. What do you think, Alessandra? Will you say yes?
The air crackled with unspoken tension. Edgar's gaze, sharp and perceptive, held Alessandra's, searching for the truth behind her red-rimmed eyes and carefully constructed facade. He had come seeking a bride, but he found something far more intriguing. A mystery wrapped in silk and shadows. Alessandra, in turn, met his gaze, her masked expression unreadable. Did she see a lifeline in his unexpected proposal, or a gilded cage? Her family watched, a mixture of resentment and desperation twisting their features. They had sought to control her fate, to barter her away, but the Duke's arrival had thrown their carefully laid plans into disarray. Now, the decision rested with Alessandra. Would she accept Edgar's shocking offer, a proposal born of intrigue and perhaps a flicker of something more? Or would she reject him, choosing the familiar pain of her isolated existence over the uncertainties of a life with a man she barely knew? And what secrets lay hidden behind her mask? Secrets that had driven her to suggest a contract marriage in the first place.
Hey, I'm Alexandria. If you're wondering what happens next, download the Pocket FM app now and listen to the exciting episode of Duke's Masked Bride.